Okay.
So,
hello, lovelies.
hello, humans.
We're just throwing this on because this is...
I bought a thing my cat will probably never use because, fun story, polyethylene is a dumpster kitty. She was found under a dumpster. She was eating dumpster food. She had a litter of kittens. Her kittens got adopted. Now she's living single lady life. But
ruler of the road.
She doesn't like things bought from her. She likes garbage. Like, one of her favorite things is the plastic that goes around, like, shelving units that you would cut that thin plastic piece, or you'll take it off.
How many times have you tripped over
then,
that stuff?
Your brother gets caught in it twice in one day and he throws it out. And we're like, why'd you throw it? Polly's gift. And I was like, well, after it tried to kill me twice. Just the irony of managing to get your feet both stuck in that two times.
Yeah.
It's like, I walked back and forth by this like 2 times. How'd that happen? But I also... we got these gifted little fish tacos that crinkle and make noise that are cat toys, and for like 6 months, I know I told the story before, but it was a while ago.
In case you missed it, because it's worth retelling anyway.
6 months or so. Cat didn't play with them. Dog chewed on them a few times, kept tossing them back up to her. Every once in a while, she'd be like,
knock it off.
And then finally I was like, all right, I'm throwing them out. So I threw them out. Then neighbor's dog, Wookie.
R.I.P. Wookie.
He was such a good neighbor. Such a good neighbor.
He was a good, we like dogs for neighbors.
But Wookie came and chewed through the garbage. This led to the taco toy being re-released with garbage onto the floor. So now it's reeking of whatever. It was our kitchen garbage, too. I'm not talking like an office or like even your bathroom. You might have gross things, but your kitchen garbage.
Kitchen garbage usually gross.
And this beep.
Polyethylene.
Takes this toy that for 6 months I played with and tried to get her to play with. And just
no interest.
Grabs it out of the garbage and struts it into the house.
Her new favorite toy. Yeah.
And until I started talking about it too much, now she's boycotted it because it's too much. I told the story too many times, so she's like, anymore.
Well, she actually does react and get angry with you. Like she
will hold.
I called her fatty one time, and
she immediately turned and looked at her,
looked at me,
turned around,
turned her back on me and wouldn't come near me to let me pet her like she normally does. She just like, don't you call me that.
She held like a 2-month-long grudge with Craig over the moving of the boat. Yes, it was a boat. Yes. We had the boat upside down over there and she loved underneath it. And he moved it and she like straight up would not have it. It was anti-Craig.
I wonder if people are reincarnated as animals.
I'm sure. We're all screaming stardust. Someone just decided to be aware one day. Now we have taxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's super mad. And then finally he thinks she's about to apologize.
Okay.
Because it's him, me, Polly, going clearly towards Craig. Gets... Probably like if this was Craig reaching its farthest to about that distance of her shoulder, like that right there, and just and walks right to me. Like, hey, remember when we were fighting? I'm not fighting her. I'm like, no, we're still fighting. Turns and walks to me and we both just lost it. Anywho, so I bought her this thing that she'll probably never use, but no matter what, it'll get used by animals.
Yeah, we have plenty of animals.
Dougal's also tried to get it multiple times now, so worst case, he'll have a new toy.
He'll chew the heck out of it.
But I love like instructions and directions.
Let me hold this so you can see that it's numerous.
This is...
There's probably 4 different things. And that is the construction of it.
Yeah.
So we need to look at the directions.
So I'm looking at it, and it's, like this is what's going on, and all this other things. Okay. And then it shows you the 2 pictures. Like you're going to have screws.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have these 4 parts and these screws.
Yeah. Now what do you do with that?
You do step 1 and 2, people. It's literally just showing the same parts.
And that.
Yeah, I don't know. I laughed so hard and then it's blank on the back. Like there is.
They made it look like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so
all
complicated.
These things. Like, no, you just need 1 and 2.
You're going to need your toolbox.
1 and 2.
And
I could probably do this with my fingernail. Anywho, we're going to build this.
That's cute. So we're going to build that for Polly not to use because she won't.
Fun building thing stories. Well, it's story time for me because we're just doing whatever we want here anyway. Yeah. So best friend Alyssa moved in next to her in 3rd grade. Our friendship started in the summer before 4th.
Yes. I'm gonna drop the video of her roller skating with your
She read
blades if she
books?
lets me.
Oh, nice. She probably will. And if she doesn't, we'll all know because I brought it up here. So,
Oh yeah, no,
if you don't see a video
of the roller skating,
Alyssa roller skating, just know she denied us.
Exactly. She said, mm-mm-mm.
But so she moves to Kentucky. Back from there, bless her heart.
Yes. We missed her when she was out there.
Yeah, so she moves to Kentucky. I'm going to visit, and I show up to an apartment with just piles of parts and areas. So like where she was thinking would make sense to have the kitchen and her little round table and whatnot was just piles of the parts. I would put those together without the instructions from IKEA, which is why I thought of it, because I love instructions. I make wooden things all the time.
Oh yeah, you make those cool
I mean, you go
things.
way back to the beginning. It was me showing off all the wooden puzzles I
Very
made.
intricate.
But yeah, so there's that. I'm trying to remember what else. There was definitely like the bed was not put together. She's like, yeah, I promise I'll make it worth it. But like, it was just hilarious because I show up for like a vacation and she's like, you're really good at this and I can't figure it out.
What was it, like an 18-hour drive?
It wasn't 18. I think it was.
Hours?
It was under 15, I thought.
Oh,
but still a long amount of
time.
Long I thought
time.
It was like closer to 12.
That's a heck of a drive to help somebody put furniture together.
But yeah, so we ended up. But I actually love that. I mean, I prefer when there's instructions just in case, so I don't put together an entire bed.
What, does IKEA not give you instructions?
No, this is Alyssa moving her furniture, so she took it all apart and moved to Kentucky.
Oh.
Because if you're moving right down the road or a town over, you can just bring your table. You're moving to Kentucky, you had to condense as much as possible.
Gotcha.
So she took all of that apart. And then
forget,
recognized the scenario that she was now.
It's like the guys who fix work on the engines of a car, and then you've got extra parts when you put it back together.
Like, where'd that come from?
Yeah,
but it worked out. I mean, I like putting the stuff together, so I'm not just being facetious. But she brought me on an amazing whiskey tour of the distilleries in Kentucky. Yes, so I got to go to Four Roses. We went to. I can't think of the name of right now, but the most fun one was.
Did you go to Maker's Mark?
Yes, that was.
I was going to say because that.
So Maker's Mark was awesome because it had all the like old school advertisements, and then in the gift shop you could buy anything. Like I could take this, pay to dip it in the wax.
I could red wax.
Could have bought this, paid to dip it in the wax. Like
they dip their.
I should have asked if I could have dipped the sleeves. I feel like I might have asked that, and they said no. If I could dip the sleeves of the jacket I bought from there,
I could see you asking.
But yeah, so we go through the whole thing. Amazing tour. At the end, we go to the final line of where they're labeling bottles and they're shooting by on a conveyor belt. And there's 4 people at the very end, and it was like a ballet. This is where they hand dip the wax. And yes, they're not lying. They hand dip the wax. Wow. So let's just say if you were to freeze frame, at some point there's maybe 8 bottles in front of the 4 people, and this person are standing there, and then this person's probably grabbing this bottle as this person's no longer dipping this, putting it down, then you're pulling my hand away, grabbing this bottle,
so they were
dipping this, so they're going over each other with just like this
like
fluid.
Cocktail bartender guy kind of things.
And it was such a beautiful thing. We were like, wow, it must take a lot to learn how to do that. And oddly enough, that's when we learned that every person in that entire distillery knows how to do everything. Smart. Because every 2 weeks they switch. No one gets stuck with the same job. So everybody's a generalist.
And you could switch.
But you also don't get stuck with a horrible job.
And I mean, you get to change
and you're constantly doing. So you're constantly seeing what it's like for everybody else there. You're learning all the aspects.
And everybody's equal.
But no one gets stuck with the worst job.
With that tedious little.
Everybody learns how to do
everything. Come on, companies, assembly line companies.
I love that concept so much.
That's great. Yeah. So you always have something new to look forward to or to change, so you're not doing.
And another thing that was honestly like a very beautiful moment. So after the whole tour, you go into the tasting room, and you can pay for whatever tasting. So we did like a nice tasting of. My hair's gotten really long. I cut a bunch of it off, and I'm just realizing how much longer it's gotten. We're doing the tasting. It's awesome to taste these like really expensive whiskeys I would never buy the bottle of, but like this is delicious if I was a rich man.
Don't copyright.
I only said so many words.
So expensive whiskey that if you were rich.
So we are now sitting in. I thought you were going to get into a copyright thing. We are now sitting doing the tasting, at the end of the tasting, there's a thing that happens. If anybody that's coming to pick up their whiskey, they can, because you can, however many, like if it's 18-year aged whiskey, 18 years ago, someone could have been like, I would like to buy and put into that barrel, and here's my money for that barrel. And then when this barrel's done, you're going to bottle that specific barrel up with my name on the label. And I'm going to pick up the actual whiskey that I was right next to that they were about to do. That's something they do. But it gets so much better than this. So this old man apparently did this and got his bottle and all of that and put in for his bottle and everything, but passed away.
Oh.
So his sons were there collecting it, and they gave him 2 bottles. So the 2 sons got to like
each
leave
one got a
with
God.
their. I don't remember. Maybe I can't remember if they gave him 2 bottles or it was just one, because it was such like a wow. This is a really emotional thing. I'm fairly certain they gave him 2 bottles, so they each had one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they lost their dad and then got to go like pick up the whiskey with
the
his
whiskey
name on.
that he had ordered. Wow.
Yeah. So Maker's Mark
Debbie
Distillery.
Downer.
That's not a Debbie Downer.
No, it's
That's
not. That's
heartwarming
still
thing.
my heart story.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so that was like it was a really amazing distillery. Highly recommended if you're ever in Kentucky.
Yeah, I've never been there. I don't know. I might have. I don't know. My father used to drag us around all over the country, so
Anywho,
who knows?
Now that you're crying.
Yeah, now that she's brought tears to your eyes, we love you guys. Have fun and drink lots of whiskey. Now,
Water.
Water. Drink water. Water.
Water.